We have case precedent here that establishes that we have these rights. They used to call them our inherent rights, but now they call them our usufructory rights. They changed the word, little legal jargons, political shit. You know how it is. They always got to be playing these games, you know. But we have treaties with the United States government that predate the state of Minnesota. State of Minnesota could have never been created if we hadn't made these agreements with the government. We never lost a war to the United States government. They came here trying to pick a fight, and they found out. Now everybody thinks that our treaties are us conceding. No, our treaties were tribute from the United States government for allowing them to live on our land. We get free health care, we get free education, we get free food surplus from the government. According to our treaties, we're supposed to have common enemies and all this, and that's why Native Americans have the highest enlistment rate in the United States, because we honor our treaties. Ever since we started this, when they used to call this project the Sandpiper, we knew what they were doing. It's been slick. They stuck this pipeline in 1968, I believe it was. Back then it was Arrowhead or something like that. Everybody talks about, oh, why didn't you say anything then? Well, back then, that was during the time where they were taking kids away to boarding schools. We couldn't even practice ceremony until the 70s. People weren't open about it until the 80s when I was a kid. But now you're coming here at that pipeline, and we realized a lot of things, and we woke up and we started researching and doing a lot of different things. And one thing that I want to say is White Earth Nation does not exist. White Earth Nation, when they went after Senator John Kerry and had all these nonprofits on that, that's illegal. We're the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe White Earth Band. We need an audit of our tribal council, and we need to get away from this Indian Reorganization Act government that they have. We need to put that power back in the hands of the people where it belongs. You know, these treaties are the ultimate law of the land, and we don't even follow our own. Our Constitution acknowledges the power of the people. Every major decision that they make, they're supposed to have a referendum. That referendum is to guarantee that we have a voice in every major decision. A tribal council isn't even a tribal council. Legally, it's a reservation business committee. They're there to make business decisions, not there to be passing laws and everything else. Everything that they've been doing to us is illegal. We never had a referendum. Cops never had a referendum on any of this stuff. And then they come here with this pipeline, and everybody's hooked on dope that the government pushed. We're done with the oppression. We're standing up. State of Minnesota, for your PUC meetings. On February 11th, 1988, you signed a legal contract with Grand Portage versus the state of Minnesota. Civil case number 4-85-1090. In that, you acknowledged our treaties. You entered into natural resource management agreements because you didn't realize them people, our elders that signed these treaties that said we have the right to hunt, fish, and gather for always, knew that someday that we'd figure this out. That guaranteed us natural resource rights. We have them to thank for this. Just like we have Friends of the Headwaters to thank for pushing and for continuing their relentless fight against that Sandpiper pipeline and winning a comprehensive EIS, first of its kind ever in the state of Minnesota. You know, in McIntosh, Minnesota, when I first spoke against the sandpiper, I brought up my treaties. My cousins, my older cousins, they're like 60s. They were going to go up there and whoop their asses with their diamond willow canes. I know what my elders think. I know what my elders want. That's what I'm doing. I watch these people making all this money. They hold me down. I got a college education. I'm sorry I swore around at your meeting, but you know what? That's 4 years of pent-up frustration and rage coming out. You're lucky nobody got their asses kicked. These people that come here, this ain't gonna be like Standing Rock. The Standing Rock, people are hurting. You want to heal, come here to heal. This water will heal you, but give something back to that water. Over there, you know, the Sioux people are known for being warriors. You turned a nation of warriors into prayerful people, and that was beautiful, but you also broke their heart. You jammed that pipeline down their throat. We ain't gonna have that here. We went there because we had treaties with them. Papa, you know, Dakota, we have a treaty with you. We promised to always stand with you. We'd have peace always, forever. You gave us the drum. That's where we got big drum. Them healing drums. We gave them something too. Where's all that stuff? You guys say you remember the past, you remember history, but remember who we are. Anishinaabe. We have all these tribal governments selling us out down the river. We're done with it. We're standing up to it. We have to have something here for our children. That's what I'm doing this for. I love my children so much. I love my community so much. When we started Camp Red Power, that's what that was for. Because I watched my friends OD. I watched my friends die. I watched my elders getting cancer. Watching all this stuff. How could I not fight? So even though everybody said, they try to hold me down, they honor the earth. You want to know the truth? Mike Dahl, I love you, brother. Remember, we started this, bro. We started this. You, Renee, and me. Until Winona the Duke got involved. Told you, watch out for that snake. People out there, they see her and they think, oh, she's such a great activist. But they don't see the stuff behind the scenes. They don't see where she's from. I come from Ganesha Gamuk. I come from Nay-Tah-Waush, NT-Dub. That's where I'm from. Born and raised. And I watched all this crooked stuff going on. Look at what happened in Standing Rock. The people, they're hurting because everybody left. The people here, yeah, we appreciate all of the help that you brought, all of this stuff, you know. But all the reality, you're here fighting for our treaties. When you go give public input, don't give any other kind of BS. Say, hey, acknowledge their language because when I go, I speak. Ombaapii, Banais, Indigenous Cast. Mahingan endo dem. Gawa babi kanakag and Dujuba. Ganesha Gamug and Gabedakos. Ogamal Kitchida. In all these years, there hasn't been anybody else there. They go have their horse ride while the meetings are going on. They've seen it as a way to make money. Look at what happened in Standing Rock. Well, Honor the Earth did $3.5 million. And they left their camp with no food and no heat in the middle of winter. While they had a concert going on in the cities, having DAPL rallies, collecting money. Our treaties are the ultimate law of the land. The United States government You violated our treaty. Enbridge violated our treaty. That pipeline's been in since 68 by Arrowhead, but when Enbridge bought that pipeline, I believe it was like in 91, 92, they assumed liability for that pipeline. One thing I want is, because you violated my treaties and that pipeline's been in there all them years, we should have been collecting royalties off of it, because it's our water that you're polluting. I want a lawyer. I want a lawyer that's going to represent me against this company on my treaty rights. I think that we can have ourselves one hell of a class action lawsuit against a foreign company. Enbridge is based out of Canada. They're not even here from here to the United States. How is this going to benefit us? Now, you want to know a way to impeach Trump? Hey, Larry Flynn, I want that 10 million. When Donald Trump signed that executive order to pass that pipeline 67 across the Canadian border, they violated our treaty. As of March 4th, 1789, the United States Senate established their authority over the treaties with the Native Americans in the United States. Donald Trump, you violated that. You have ownership in Dakota Access Pipeline, and I believe in this one. They're all the same investors. Look at the Dollar Generals popping up. Same investors. People have to follow the money. It's all public info. You know? Look at the casinos that they're building. Where did we get the money for that when we're so broke? You know, there's drugs that they bring in here. I watch the cops give it to the people. And I also watched them try to set one of my brothers up. He got pulled over. They brought in a search dog and circled his car 3 times with nothing found. But then went in and did a hand search and said, oh, you have like 70, 80 grams of heroin. Oh, hell no. That's illegal search and seizure, because that was planted. He said, what am I going to do, bro? I said, challenge civil regulatory. You see, when they implemented this police force here in White Earth, we never had a referendum on it. It don't matter what laws or bills they pass after the fact. The fact of the matter is, we never had a referendum. We don't have no civil regulatory laws here. Who are cops? Who are our cops licensed through? They're cross-deputized with the counties. They're county licensed cops, post-certified police officer standards and training of Minnesota. They're county cops imposing state laws on tribal citizens. We don't have none of that, you know. When did we ever vote on any laws? When did we ever vote on a seatbelt law or a speeding law? According to my treaty, I have a right to come and go, travel, as long as I stay on the reservation. I can travel however I want. I don't need a driver's license. I don't need none of that. You people painted me out to be a drug dealer while you were the ones pushing it. You got mad when we started Camp Red Power because I said, I'm going to stand up for my treaties. I'm going to push the drugs out. I love my community enough. I seen everybody's seen the car fentanyl coming. And we said, we're going to push the drugs out. And they stopped us. Every opportunity that they have, they stop us. Every time we get close, but and I've had people ask me, how could you keep going? Because somebody has to. I walked on back home and everybody's eyes were so dull. No. There was no shine in their eyes. Where was that light? They didn't have nothing to look forward to. Because these tribal IRA governments, TEC, whatever you want to call it, start taking their kids away. Took their homes. They didn't have no hope. Read, enslaving a population through addiction, the unbounded spirit. It's a study they did. How to create a drug epidemic. Concentrate people in one area, take away the jobs, inject drugs. We ain't having it no more. People said we couldn't do it. Guess what? Here we can. It takes standing up for your community. People are tired of it. Then stand up to it. These cops ain't doing anything. They're turning them all in, and the cops ain't doing nothing. So we stand up as a community. Like I said, I come from that. I used to be a bad drunk. I dabbled in a lot of different stuff. Hey, I ain't perfect. But you know what? They know who I am from that project. I'll whoop your ass. That's what you have to do. Say it's done, it's enough. I love you enough that I'm not going to let you overdose. Please. NAH, you're doing great stuff. James Cross, I love you, brother. Always. You know? Danielle, Bernardino, Dino, I'm so proud of you. Danielle, cuz I love you forever. I always got your back. Always. We're done with it. We're standing up to it, and we're pushing it out. Guess what? My cousin went up there and whooped his ass that day after we did that march. I'm proud of you, Duddy. Right on. Told you. We can do that here because we're all family. This is our community. We know who don't belong here. We can make our own people behave. That's what it's going to take, a little tough love. You can't get high if there's no supply. We need the people clean and sober because this pipeline is coming. We've been trying to tell you for a long time. And I kept fighting because I ain't going to give up on you. Someone had to. These people are all bullshitting, saying that they're doing this and that, and they ain't doing nothing. They're liars. Chamokamaniwe, Junior. My treaties say I have the right to hunt, fish, and gather from now until the end of time. All of my descendants. Fuck your blood quantum. And fuck your IRA government too. Because ultimately when it comes down to it, they are my treaty rights. And I'm the only one that can stand up for them. Like I've been telling you for a long time, you come. I got my guns buried. I ain't afraid. At least I'll know that I died fighting for my kids so that they could have clean water, for my grandkids so that they could have clean water. Don't people realize what this government is doing? They're bought off by the big oil. Big pharma. And insurance. All these people dying of cancer. Can't you see it? They're poisoning everybody. But with our treaties, we have a chance to stop that. We have a chance to end it. Like I said, Donald Trump, in that date, March 4th, 1789, Senate said, you cannot make decisions like that. Your executive order is a direct violation of our treaty because you didn't go through Congress or the Senate. We need to do this. We need all of our people's voices. Where's their voices? Enbridge parked all their vehicles all over the place. We couldn't even get in there. We can't afford this. These tribal councils say they're fighting. Where's the busloads of people coming from the reses to make these meetings? They know that we're impoverished. They have all the money, all the jobs. Why don't you buy some land? Invest in your people. Build some business. A year and a half ago, Renee brought you our idea for growing hemp, using that as a phytoremediator, cleaning all of the farm chemicals out. If you pay attention, they spray this anhydrous ammonia. People don't realize what this stuff is. You start researching it. Read a book. You find out that glyphosate is the same thing, one chemical component away from Agent Orange. Yep. Ain't it? Agent Orange. Glyphosate and what is it? That endless duo.
They combine the glyphosate and the 2,4-D.
When you combine the glyphosate and the 2,4-D, Renee's she's she's my ace in the hole. I owe her a lot. I owe a lot of you a lot. A lot of you don't even realize that I talk to so many people out there just trying to spread information, trying to help. Washapi, Misty, Lish, Dallin. I love you, brother. Gracie. Who? Harry, Kelly. Everybody that was on the front line. Because when it comes down to it, if we can't stop this, it's going to be us fighting. If they can't stop this at the state or they try to push us through, it's going to be us fighting. Because I ain't going to let them do that to my kids no more. We can't let them keep poisoning us. You know, because of that agreement with Grand Portage versus the state of Minnesota, that case I gave you, remember, write that down, CIB. Maybe I'll even post it in the deal after, you know. They say, you know, that gives us where they have to have joint the natural resource management, they have to share that with those tribes in Minnesota. You see, we've never lost our treaty cases. We fight for our rights here because we never lost. And one thing, when you went to Standing Rock, you violated our treaties because you know, I seen a quill copy at a friend of mine's house one time. This old guy, he was cool as hell. He always had all these documents. He's selling, you know, he smoked a lot of weed, and yeah, it was good weed. You know, yeah, I was just kidding, but you know, I seen a copy of that. If you get an original quill copy, that's why you got to get a verbatim treaty. Because in the original treaty, it says, Article 5, you know, Section B, it says, if the United States government ever violates our treaty or hurts another Indian, we have a right to pick up guns to defend our people again. We never lost the war, remember? Last time you brought it, look at what the pillagers did you up there in Leech Lake. Wiped out a whole cavalry, a handful of them. You guys are pitiful. Who taught you how to fight? We did. We don't want that. Why can't you see that? The oil companies, you know that your oil is drying up, so you want the next best commodity, and that's you're trying to turn it into our water. People got to realize that our water here in Minnesota makes up nearly 85% of the world's remaining fresh water, and they've been polluting it already for 50 years. They've already drained all these aquifers all over the place, you know, and it's like, how do people think that you're going to make it like this? How much are you going to pay for a drink of water for your baby? How many hours are you going to work? This is slavery, what you're doing by the elite. Donald Trump don't pay no taxes. That's why you hate us here so much. Because our treaties let us live free of you. We have the right to go live natural like we always have. And because you took away all the jobs and you influence our tribal councils, we do anyway. I leach, I rice, I cut wood, you know, I'll go cut balsa balls, we'll go pick berries, you know. We don't have to pay no fucking taxes. The hell is that? How are you going to come and tax me when you want some of the berries I'm going to pick? That's why you hate us. Because we're able to live free of you. We don't need you. You have everybody else thinking that they're dependent on you. This forced dependence on oil because they afford all the lobbyists. They're the ones with all the money and people in government because everybody else is breaking their backs, farming, doing everything else, law, you know, industry. You know, they're people that the government's running on, you know. They're the ones that make this world go around. We don't need them people. Look at what's going on around the world. Because of our treaties, you violated our treaties, Donald Trump. I think that you should be impeached, brother. Our treaties, Minnesota, you got to honor them. You recognize them before. State of Minnesota versus Mille Lacs, yeah, you messed up. When Friends of the Headwaters pushed that through, you know, people forget that they always ask, you know, what are you going to do about that guy's treaty? As of 2016, look it up. State of Minnesota DNR website. As of 2016, we no longer need a harvest permit in the state of Minnesota. Why is it that our own tribes are charging us for a harvest permit, but we can go rice, do fish, whatever we want all over the state, as long as it's within our treaty territory? Usufructory rights means the rights to the resources. You may live here, but we have the rights to resources. You don't have a right to stop us. You know, matter of fact, them are our resources. You can't even cut your grass really without asking. We have you know, the state of Minnesota's got to abide by these agreements, but they oppress us. You backed us into a corner. Native nation builders ain't nothing but, you know, look who funds it, Bush Foundation. They're meant to come in and push infrastructure for the man. Look at all the people on that Native Nation builders list. Dave Archambault, you're on there, brother. How you doing over there standing up? Come over here, I'll kick your ass. You sold them out. In our treaty, Article 5, Section B, when you went to Standing Rock and hurt them, you hurt Indians. Now we're going to use your language against you. We're your worst nightmare. We're educated. We know your language. We also know ours. Do you? When I went to them state PUC meetings and spoke, it says garbled language. They didn't even have the decency to say Anishinaabe Mowing. All these tribal governments selling us out, people realize we're Anishinaabe, we're all the same. They used the art of war very well on us. They got us to say we were different for a little cut of that pie. When in all reality, the whole Thanksgiving dinner is ours, baby. No, we're not saying that we're going to go back to, you know, 500 years ago and push all the white people out. That's ridiculous. What we propose is this. I want a lawyer. I think there's an awful lot of MCT band members that have been directly affected by this pipeline since 1968. And I believe that you owe us money from 1968 until now, royalties, because you never talked to us about it. Like here, you have to acknowledge it. Where's your translator? Where's your government official? You people act like we're just, you know, you had it for so long. What happened? You elected a dotard. Donald Trump, you should never start trying to push that. When you hurt them over there, because we have treaties with the Sioux. We honor that. Not only are you going to pull a pipeline out here, you're going to pull a pipeline out there. We need all people to stand up for our water. Our water is sick. Our water needs our help. Between these anhydrous ammonia tanks and rolls on, you know, you had that DAPL cough. Do you remember that day that fog rolled in? Look at back in the timeline. It says on Ombaapii, Banais says when that fog rolls in, don't worry, we could cure it. Mullen, what you got was that rat poison. They throw it in the bagfuls into the river. That's what I've seen in that dream. Aluminum phosphine gas it creates when you mix it with water. It creates a fog. That mixed with spraying you with that other stuff, you guys are suffering from poisoning, man. You need some medicine. We have medicines here, you know, we have different things, you know. I don't know myself, but I know a lot of people around do. Coming the right way and asking the right way. You know, all this thing that they're doing, they call it killing us softly. They've never apologized for the Holocaust that they committed against the Native American population. because they're not done. They're trying. But guess what? We're still here. We have the right to exist. I remember all them guys that used to fight all the time. Be fighting, fight, bigger, over them goddamn tribal council seats. They never realized if they would have all put their arguments together, they'd have been so strong. But I sat and watched and listened. My Uncle Rock Keezer, you're my hero. You and Leroy Lyons were my hero, my dad. You stood up for your rights. You taught me to stand up for mine. And I'll stand up for it for everybody else's too. Until they're off that needle, until they're healthy enough to come help me, I'll fight. But they're getting there. You know, that Suboxone program is a joke. $1,200 a day. You know, my mom, you know, I know that NAH personally. You know? I love you, Mom. Her insurance, $1,200 a day from that Suboxone program. $438,000 a year. 80 people in their program. They're taking all of the kids here. $7,500 a kid average they're getting. All you have to do is say you have FAS, say you're a little mildly retarded, all this other shit. That's what they're getting. That's ridiculous. Wow. We looked at the budget a couple years ago, you know, it was $500 million that they're getting from the government. What the hell? We had a casino for 25 years. Where'd all that money go? What'd you guys do? Why don't you invest in us? Invest in our people. Buy some land. Start growing some hemp. Hemp Creek. Wind, you know, we live on the only class 5 wind belt in the United States. Runs all along Highway 59. You paid for me to go to college to learn green energy manufacturing. You paid for all these guys to learn wind turbines and stuff. Then you left us hanging. Invest in the people. You wonder why nobody shows up for your meetings? That's why. You don't listen to anybody. When I brought this, you know, I go talk to my elders. A few years ago, I went to talk to them, and we took notes and everything. What do you want us to do? I ran for tribal council. Well, you know what? I did it more or less because it got me a couple interviews on radio because we could fight this pipeline. I didn't campaign or nothing, you know. I used it as a way to fight that Sandpiper pipeline. But, you know, when I went on the radio, I went around and talked to the elders, and they said, what do you want me to say? I want you guys to be heard. Rosie Alvarado was one of them. Sonny McDougal. Jeannie. Sonny said we got to learn to walk in 2 worlds. It's hard for us as Anishinaabe today because we got to learn to walk in that, you know, and I took it for granted. I was, you know, I'm working on it. I took it to mean that I had to learn how to be a white guy. No, I know how to be a white guy. I got to learn how to be Anishinaabe again. See how long this pipeline 2 it used to be, now it's 67. They do all this shit to try to confuse people. Goes all through Anishinaabe territory. Bad River, LCO. The LCO, you sold out. Why? You left Bad River hanging in Wisconsin. Bad River wants it pulled out, and you signed a $75 million contract. How you should be ashamed of yourself. You remember? I'm surprised your membership don't rise up. But no, they're probably going through the same stuff we are. The people can't rise up and speak out against you when they're all addicted and you take away all their hope. You took their kids, you took their homes. You can donate this money all over the place, but you can't fix up the homes for the people. The cops are illegal. You did that so that you could give everybody a felony record. So you could keep that money coming in. Look at that brand new jail coming up in Becker County. Who's paying for that? Betcha it's Enbridge. Look at for the investors. Follow the money. These people are greedy. That's it. You know, I have every right to fight. I have every right to go get some, you know, whatever, and say no. Read the Standing Rock transcripts. If somebody would have just did that, it would have stopped it. You lose one life, it's done. Fuck you. I told you. I did an interview a couple years ago. I told you. When you come, I'll fight. Because my elders told me to. Even if I'm the only one, I'll fight. I'll fight for my children. I'll fight for my people. I ain't afraid of you. Because I'd rather fight you and lose than go home and have to look them in the eye the rest of my life knowing I did nothing. And hang my head. I'll never hang my head for no one. All of this stuff you guys been collecting, all this money, we did it with nothing. You held us down. You made it sound like I was some kind of goddamn drug kingpin. How dare you? You know, defamation of character on your own people, lateral oppression. Oh my God. Why? Irma Visner, you're such a crooked bitch. Joe Plummer, watch the video. I called him out. I always asked them, and they always go around and they never answer. But then they go around and say, "Oh, he's crazy. He's on drugs. He's on dope." Renee had a brain aneurysm a few years ago. She's, you know, she has a little few issues, you know, but you know, Renee, she's a beautiful person. Fuck you for trying to make that look bad. She's a survivor, not a survivor, a warrior. Warrior never quits fighting. And I'll never quit fighting. I wish more people would stand up to it. I suppose they'll have some shooting somewhere and I'll end up in a hotel somewhere, planted you know, like the next Las Vegas shooting or something, you know. Yeah, it's the kind of shit that happens to them kind of people, you know. False flag. You guys are messing up all over the place. You can tell that shit's fake. Where'd they bury all the bodies? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then you guys shoot a few people to make it look good. That's fucked up. You call it collateral damage. Well, guess what? Our treaties say that. Because if you don't abide by our treaties, and you know, we're putting out a call to the rest of the world. I want a lawyer for them treaties. And if they're going to come here with force, and I'm putting a call out to the rest of the world, we have treaties with Germany, France, all of them too. Honor our treaties. Remember us. The Anishinaabe people of North America, we need your help. We said we'd help you fight them, and you left us here. 500 years we've been fighting them. We'll fight them for 500 more. We need to do away with these IRA governments. Who has the ultimate power in them IRA governments? It's not the chairman or the secretary treasurer or any of them council members. Them are like, you know, like the defense on a football field, you know, or the offense to protecting that quarterback. Joe Plummer and that executive director are the ones that have all the power. Joe Plummer signing all these legal agreements, you know, and the executive director is the one that submits it to the Department of Interior. We need to do away with that. Where's the people's voice? You took the people's voices away. You don't listen to them anymore. In today's day and age, look at, I'm here talking to all you people. You could be doing this at tribal council meetings. You could ask people, you know, people could sit at home and vote for, you know, who's going to be the next voice winner. But they can't vote for simple things on tribal council meetings? Come on, man, we're in the age of technology. And don't tell me all this bullshit about we need oil to do all this stuff, because any of this stuff that you do with oil, you can do with plant cellulose, biodegradable, plastics, all this other stuff, you know, building materials, clothes. Smokes have a way of acting like we didn't know about all this stuff was when you got your shit. We taught you all this stuff. You guys change up them history books pretty good. You act like we were primitive when you got here. If we hadn't taken you in off of them ships when you were sick and diseased and pox and everything else you had and took care of you, you'd have died. Fuck, I don't know why they didn't. Joanna, to love, pity, bless, unconditional. We knew who you were. When it's in our stories, we're told to pity you. You're the youngest of the people on the earth. It's time to quit hiding that stuff. Time to start telling them how it really is. The signs are there. The red and purple, Northern Lights. I mean, look at the signs. All you people say you're traditional, you're powwow Indians, man. I ain't been to a powwow in, 10 years. Show Indians. Some of you I know are from ceremony around, man. You guys are cool, but a lot of you guys are tribal circuit, I love the drum. It's used for healing. Hey, you guys, when you have them in casinos and stuff, that's not right. You don't have a drum where there's alcohol and stuff. Come on. That's cultural appropriation. You see, we are educated. I got a degree in green energy manufacturing, but because I'm outspoken and I got a big mouth, you guys hold me down, man. That's messed up. But I'm from the projects, and the people in the projects know who I am. That's what gets you. How did they do it? How did they get in? I ain't letting you in. Why would I let you in? People around ain't stupid. We protect our own. When you come here, who's your people? Where are you from? 2 basic questions. That's how we could tell these, these people like that Mayangan Kyla Hasek, look up that, oh man, she's a paid actress, man. She stays straight up says in there, Caucasian. From Colorado, Mesa County, Colorado. She's wanted on DUI like I was. Oh, I'm such a horrible person, All of this, the drug addiction, alcoholism, everything is due to that oppression, that lateral oppression perpetrated on us by our own people. You're making how much money? Tara, you said you were going to give half of them wages back, man. Come on. We ride around with our gaslight on half the time. But we make it to these meetings. Because that's where it is important. Because even if it's just one person that stands up and talks about our treaties, they have to acknowledge it. That's why, friends at Headwaters, I love you people, man. Much respect, mad love for you people. You guys fought for all of us. I'm so proud of you guys. We had that radio interview with you guys a long time ago, I didn't think that was right that Mike said that you guys couldn't use that argument. Not for his treaty, right? You guys used it for mine, and I appreciate that. I really do. But now time is coming. We need our elders. We need our youth. We need runners to go out the old way. Tobacco and people, they need to come. We have a winter to prepare. Their EIS is coming through in April or something like that. People come here because we need their voice too. They ain't listening. Terry Tibbetts, you know what? We gave you 300 and some sheets of paper that were all opposition. Where did them go? They never made it to the state, brother. You got in as chairman because you ran against Mindy Iverson. Everybody knows she's a chamoke. You guys enrolled her so that you would win. Because they needed somebody in there to sign them agreements. All these backdoor dealings you guys have with Enbridge is going to stop. We need an audit. You guys railroad all these people. Well, we're done with it. Because ultimately, we don't need you. We don't need you. Remember why we do this. I got 4 kids, Renee has 3, we got 7 kids. We're doing it for them because we love them. Push the drugs out because we love them. You do it out of love. The amount of resistance that we put up is directly proportional to how hard they push. We don't want to fight like that, but we will if we have to. You went to Standing Rock and turned warriors into prayerful people. You're going to come here and turn medicine people back into warriors because we're the ones you never beat. Look up the treaty on Niagara, the J Treaty. That's the first time you acknowledged us as the Anishinaabe nation. 18 million acres. You violate that treaty, we can take it back. We are indigenous. According to the Declaration of Rights of indigenous people of the United Nations, we have the right to rescind on that treaty. We're asking for help. Where are you people at? These people say they're fighting and all this and that. They're full of shit. Look at what are they doing? I've been telling them for years, use these arguments, and they ain't doing nothing. They act like I'm a bad guy. Because sometimes I used to be the bad guy, but come on now. You also come and you ask me a bunch of questions and I give you the answers. And that's messed up. I'm good enough for you to come use my ideas, but I ain't good enough for you to give a job or help out or anything else, because then I'd be able to make these meetings and I'd still talk out against you. Everybody else is scared to talk out against you because they'll lose their jobs. They'll lose their homes. They'll lose their kids. You have them oppressed. You can't do that to me. What more can you take? You ain't ever really free until you've lost everything. That's where you're most vulnerable, most whatever. That's where you find out who you are. I've done that a few times. You did it to me a few times. That's pretty good. That's all right. Don't need nothing. As long as I got food in my belly, a roof over my head at night, and love my family, I'm a rich man. I don't need things. Things you can't take with you. We're all, energy, beings of energy that are holding on to a skin suit, We bring that memories with us. We go back, But one thing I know is in them teachings too. This is one thing I'll tell you. As Ojibwa, you guys got to understand what you're getting into is this. Because if it comes down to that time where it's going to fight, we got to stand and protect our people while they flee. We ain't going to put our elders and youth right in that pipeline, right away to that pipeline. Use them other camps for that. It's for gathering places. We got to have our old style councils over the winter, like it used to be. Bring the people together. Because if it comes to that point and we defend, you guys got to know what you're getting into, because as a Gitchida, is to provide and protect. You don't ever take a life unless you absolutely have to. But if you take a life in war out of anger, we don't get to go to happy hunting grounds. We gotta go where smokes go. I'll do that. That's all right. I understand what we're getting into. We need to, you guys need to clean up. You guys need to go sweat. Put your tobacco up. Get back in touch, with yourselves. We can help you with that. They go to them SOS marches with Dino and Danielle. They do Narcan trainings right there. I love that. People are talking all this mad crap. You know what? I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. 3 fires in the same town isn't right due to this shit. We're losing everybody. Bad enough we lost all my elders to cancer. Now I'm losing all my friends to drugs. We lit that 8th fire in Standing Rock. You guys are awesome. I wish I could have went, but we had a pipeline here we were fighting. Mines, you know, there's more to being a water protector than just a pipeline. There's mines. You know, they got a sulfide mine meeting coming up in Bemidji next week on Wednesday that we got to go make because that directly affects our wildlife. They're trying to put that mine up by the boundary waters. We got, you know, farm chemicals. White Earth Nation, you know, you're the ones that, you know, you say White Earth Nation, we're Minnesota Chippewa Tribe, White Earth banned. But you know what? You're the ones that can ban farm chemicals. You can ban that stuff. Ban it. Quit letting them poison us. Because if we do it, the rest of the MCT can do it. It takes us doing it first, though. That's how it works. We all back each other up. Grand Portage did that case in '88. That's how it works. You know, we lit that 8 fire in the hearts of our youth. Now we got to protect that. Because they see that we can push the drugs out. We can beat these pipelines. There is somebody that's going to fight for them. Stand up and fight for your kids. They took them away for you. Stand up and fight for them. This is their land, their water. This is what are we leaving them? Got nothing left to lose. We got a nation of warriors right now. And that's sad to me. Look at what you did to us. You sons of bitches. I love all you. It's all you. I just had to get that out. Go back, look at that stuff. Bring that up in them commentary. You know, we have them agreements because of that stuff. Grand Portage versus Minnesota. That went to all of us now. Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. We all fall under them treaties. It's all the same treaty. It's just an amended treaty. 17 times they amended a treaty. We're all the same people. This pipeline going from Canada all the way down. We're all the same. Stand together against them tribal councils. We don't need them. That power don't lie with them. It lies in our treaties. Individual usufructory rights. We got this. Once they acknowledge our language, they have to acknowledge that, yes, Minnesota, you know all the dirty things that you did. You know, you acknowledge our treaties. You realize you messed up. You entered into that agreement with Grand Portage. It's for decisions made on natural resource management. We're like this and that, buddy. We're like this. We gotta both be in that decision. Honor the earth, you guys are supposed to be getting an EIS for 2 years to be collected for that. Where'd that go, that tribal EIS BS? Now you're just adding to the state's EIS? What the hell is that? Quit lying to the people. I'm tired of struggling, man. I'm trying, you know, we're going to have a fry bread sale tomorrow so that we could get gas to make it down there. So, you know, anybody watching this, you know, if you see, you know, tomorrow we're going to have a fry bread sale, it would really help out if you bought one because that's going to get us gas to get down there. Grace wants her kids to be able to speak at this meeting. We got to make sure that they're heard. We got to get out in the community with something, you know, and help the people sign up, get these comments filled up. Just, you know, speak as much of the language as you can. That makes our case stronger. They have to start abiding by our treaties. That's a way to stop it. Like I said. What? Even if it's just your name and clan. Because that sets us apart as a nation. Anishinaabe Nation is what we used to be known as. Then he broke us up into, you know, all these other little bands or whatever. Just so that they get some money. See how that goes. Assassination of Holland today, read it, Anton Troyer, you know. They talk about that kind of stuff, the stuff that went on with that. We know that history. They'll come talking like this. Out of both sides of that face. Remember, Remember who we are. Okichida. Resist.